I think that the use of technology in classrooms has a place in the school system. I just wonder about how developmentally aware those educators are.
Technology is the stuff that you use to communicate and play games like on a tablet.
Like there is like a big screen that you can color on it for writing and math.
So I have a lot of technology in my class, actually. It's been really nice. Especially being in a Title I school, I have a lot of opportunity to use technology a lot. But I have a smartboard and iPads. I have my own personal computer. We have a computer lab at the school. I love using technology because it increases student engagement a ton. As soon as I pull out a video that I can use with the other students, then their engagement increases a ton. So I love using it for that reason, and it also is a really good resource for them to use if it's something that's a little bit more difficult for me to teach.
Sometimes the screen helps us, like she's saying what she means. Sometimes it helps us to understand.
So the smartboard is awesome. It takes a little while to get used to, and that's kind of a hard part, is you have to be trained on everything, but essentially you just plug it into your laptop, and then every time you touch it, then it draws on it. It's like an interactive whiteboard. It's awesome because then I can do anything with it. Anything that I put up there, videos or anything, I can shrink, I can write it directly on top of. It's like an interactive whiteboard projector mixed. And so I use it every single day. I use it for reading books, I use it for writing. The kids love using it. They would much rather do that than write on a giant piece of paper in front of the class. So it's amazing. I love it. The students use it most of the time. I have 4 for my class, and we just put those reading programs on it. There are so many apps that are educational. And so it's their favorite center. They love it. They all look forward to it every single week. But like I said, it's engagement. Their engagement increases so much with it. So they will sit there and read for 30 minutes on an iPad.
I'm on first grade math now. Because it gives me a ton of math equations, and I have to get them right, or else he goes back and I have to do it again.
The children who read on the iPads, not just play games on the iPads, but actually read, then their reading scores increase dramatically compared to students who their parents are fighting them to just read just one little book a day. I also like some of the programs on the iPads because they have options like where the iPad will read the book to them if they can't read yet, or if they get to a tricky word, they can click on it and it will give them a definition or prompt them on how they can solve it. It gives comprehension questions at the end. So it kind of is like a mini teacher. It's like a teacher lesson in an iPad. So I think that the reading scores of those who use iPads for reading are definitely increased. I could not say the same for those who just go home and play iPads just for fun. I would say that their scores decrease.
Unfortunately, when we get involved in this modern craze for everything technological, oftentimes certain rudimentary but necessary skills and tasks are pushed aside for children. So for example, if a child needs to learn the alphabet, and sure, studies might show that certain children might benefit from a glowing, flashing screen that will teach them the alphabet in a more efficient way, and they'll be able to prove it through a test score. But unfortunately, what it doesn't show is what that child may have been able to gain had they been able to learn the alphabet through a variety of technological means, writing it out, being able to interpret their own penmanship and then see how their teacher writes it out and then hear the sounds.
We live in a world where technology is used everywhere, and so it's important for children to know how to use technology for their future jobs, for college, for high school, for whatever it is. And those who know how to use technology appropriately are able to access more information, and they're able to seek further knowledge, I guess, on things that they may want to know more about. So I really like that. That's a really good question, and I think every parent who comes to me, they always ask that, and I don't know the perfect answer for every child, but I do think if you use it reading on an iPad as an incentive, so if you read your 3 books that we send home, your regular hard copy books, then you can read on your iPad. Then I think that's a good way to balance it, using it as an incentive or a reward, even though at the end of the day, they're still just reading. But I would definitely use normal books first and then iPad second.
Ultimately, we need to know that the technology doesn't know the individual. The technology doesn't care about the individual's developmental needs. A responsible teacher who's developmentally aware will be able to implement technology in a way that does cater to the individual developmental needs of that child.
I think that at the end of the day, nothing can replace normal books, and that although iPads and computers and smartboards, they're all really good resources, but I think that they complement what actual reading is, and that's going to be learning how to read with an actual book in front of you. So I never teach children how to read on an iPad. I would never do that. I would always use a normal book.